'Cause there will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time.
Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, free NHL picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's NHL slate, which we will get to here in a bit. Tim says first commenter. Robert says Canucks. Yes, the Canucks. Thank God for that Canucks game, because otherwise it would have been a really bad night for me. The Wild game was so close. Yeah, we'll discuss it here in a bit. The Red Wings are frauds. Yeah, that was a game I just passed on. They were just too big of favorites there in that game. Tim versus Terry day. And yes, it is. Terry, amazing day yesterday. Yes, for you, Nick. Great job yesterday on the site. Nick killed it in the NHL yesterday. So great job to you. In it to win it, like guys are men, can drink about 15 Heinekens. There you go. There you go. Good day, Terry, to you as well, Captain Bry. We'll start the show as we usually do. I do have kind of a new segment that I'm going to be starting here shortly as well, which we'll get to here in a bit. But we'll start the show as we usually do, which is taking a look at what happened yesterday. Starting in this game between the Wild and the Rangers, I took the Wild money line. I took the over 6. I went over 2 in this game. The Wild continues to not play a full 60-minute game. And I'll get to it a little bit more in my breakdown later on. But the Wild did not show up in the first period. They had 2 shots. The Canucks only had 3 shots, but they were able to score 2 goals. The Wild weren't down 1-0 after the first, with only 2 shots on goal. They completely dominated the Rangers in the second period. If only the Wild could play that way for a full 60 minutes, they would be 9-1 right now, but they don't. They don't play that full 60-minute game, and they did not yesterday. And then, yes, I'm going to mention the referees. There were multiple missed calls, at least 4 or 5 of them in that third period. And then, of course, in the last few minutes, the Rangers get a power play on a call that was not nearly as obvious as the 2 high sticks, as the tripping of Rossi, and interference on Boldy as well. So it was just ridiculous. But I'm not blaming the refs. I am blaming the refs partly, but the Wild need to play a full 60-minute game to win. But the referees in the NHL, and not just in Wild games, but the NHL referees in general, are blind idiots. They need to get some freaking glasses. But that's all I have to say about that. Going along to the second game here, Blackhawks Lightning. I leaned over 6.5. Was worried about the Blackhawks scoring, but I shouldn't have been. They ended up winning 5-3. I did say on yesterday's show that I was going to add a Kucherov goal, which I didn't have on the screen, but I added it. Of course, he scored. Kucherov continues to find the back of the net for the Lightning. Then this game happened, and I had seen some people saying that Ottawa, after beating Toronto, that they were going to continue momentum, and this was a great spot for them, and that this was a bad spot for the Canucks. And I kind of made this kind of face, not understanding what they were talking about, but it was a Canucks spot. It was a huge letdown spot for Ottawa, and it happened right off the bat to start the game. The Senators did kind of make it close, but Canucks money line cashed, the over 6.5 cashed, and this prop, which I said was priced wrong. This should be my Hronik right now should be -130, -140 to get a point. The way he's playing, got multiple points, I think, again yesterday. Multiple assists, at least one, and cash that. So that prop continues to make money. Another prop that continues to make money, Mr. Monahan for the Montreal Canadiens continues to find a way to score at least a point, and that was another winner. Um, Islanders in Boston, I passed on. Didn't really. I did like Boston money line as a parlay piece. Boston did win, ended up winning 5-2 against the Islanders. I like the Stars money line as a parlay piece as well on yesterday's show. And although it kind of looked a little bit scary there when the Blue Jackets went up 2-0, eventually the Stars said, not today, and were able to win that game convincingly. Then, unfortunately, we get to the game that I really wish I could skip. I really wish I could skip this game. Why I put why I went so heavy on the Coyotes? I don't know. I don't know. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. The Coyotes, who had scored at least 5 goals against the Blues in 4 straight games, they had pretty much dominated the Blues. Uh, Lost 2-1. So the team total lost. The Yotes money line lost, and both of these two players, which were on really hot point streaks, unfortunately lost as well. So that Yotes game was an absolute disaster. Luckily, small losing day, but not too bad because of the Canucks game. Past in this game, Winnipeg continues their domination over the Nashville Predators, and they won 6-3. So the Jets are kind of getting hot here all of a sudden. This game, I really, really, really was hoping that I was going to wake up and see that Shane Wright scored, but unfortunately, no, he did not. But the Kraken got the win against the Colorado Avalanche. Big win for this Kraken team. Penguins and Kings. I'm glad I stayed off the Kings. I'm glad. Um, the Kings 36 shots for the Kings, 20 for the Penguins. The Penguins win 4-3 in overtime. The Kings perfect on the road, but they're not quite getting the job done at home. That was the second night of a back-to-back, so not a good spot for LA either. I'm glad I stayed off that one. And then the final game of the night between the Edmonton Oilers and San Jose Sharks. Of course, everybody's been talking about this game. And Edmonton, 41 shots. The Sharks had 18. So the Oilers more than doubled the amount of shots the Sharks got, but the Sharks won 3-2. And in this game yesterday, obviously I passed, but there was no way I was laying anywhere near that price with Edmonton. I couldn't believe how big of favorites they were in this game. Um, and yesterday proved it. These two teams are pretty similar when it comes to um, what team is good and what team isn't. Obviously, the Oilers have a ton of star power, but it's not showing. It's not showing on the ice. Jump to the comments quickly. Ba, 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 ba. I am Oilers laughing. Yeah, Oilers. Wow. I blame the Oilers goalies for all this. Yeah, the Oilers. Really, it's the general manager. Why you have not tried to improve your goaltending? Uh, it's clear to everybody. Everybody. Anybody who watches an Oilers game looks at them and thinks this team had a goalie, they would be good. But for some reason, the organization just doesn't want to improve their goaltending. So, what's up, Terry Smash? Like, of course you did, Richie. Everyone be like Richie. Much appreciated. Credit to the Sens, they tied it up, but Canucks was the one. Yeah, it was a good spot for Canucks. Salute, Terry. You as well, Kev. Amazing. The only thing I played in that Yotes game was Krause anytime goal. Yes, great call, Richie. I couldn't remember exactly who said it, but I remember that somebody mentioned Krause, and of course, he was the one to score for the Yotes. Penguin, yep, heck yeah. Let's go Stars, Terry. Yep, your Stars got the win there with the over 6. Go Sharks. No. Oilers trade everyone, fire everyone. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that Oilers team needs to do to fix things, but because there's so many things wrong with them that I just don't know where to start. Start with Holland and the general manager. What's up with Tampa Bay losing to Columbus and the Blackhawks? Yeah, as we've seen, Tampa Bay is obviously when Vasilevsky comes back, that should hopefully help them. But it is the mother's trip for the Blackhawks, which the players tend to really play really well when their moms are in the stand. So that was something to maybe potentially look at over this trip for the Blackhawks. The San Diego Padres of hockey. Yes, I can agree with that. So the new segment of the show, I'm gonna work on the graphics next week. Well, and as I mentioned on yesterday's show, no show next week, probably until Thursday. So Monday to Wednesday at least, because I'm having my wisdom teeth out. So I will not be doing a show, but we'll be working on the show graphics and stuff while I'm off. But one segment that we're going to start to look at is the poll segment. If you've not followed Getting Wild with Terry and Friends on Twitter, GWWTAF, go and follow the show Twitter, as I'm going to be asking polls daily about different questions. Some will be involved in a specific game, some will be just hockey questions, and we will bring up the answers on the show and we'll kind of look at them. One of the polls that I asked today: which coach should be fired in the NHL? Jay Woodcroft, of course, 68%, especially after yesterday's game. He's going to be the biggest favorite to being fired. Sheldon Keefe with Toronto. The Leafs are definitely not off to a great start. He's got 20%. 8% say DJ Smith in Ottawa. And then, yes, I had to choose a fourth coach. And I looked at the NHL standings and looked at which teams I thought were performing and underperforming. And right now, the Wild are underperforming. So Dean Evison, but only 4% said to fire Dean Evison. One more poll. We'll get today's slate, and then there will be another poll later on that involves a specific game. But the one that does not involve a specific game: which underdog is most live tonight? So, which dog do people think is going to win today? I didn't include Anaheim because it was a pick 'em at the time, and then San Jose. Yeah, there's other better dogs to talk about. So the dogs we have here: Florida plus 118, 47.6% say Florida is live tonight, 28.6% say the Flames, 14.3% say the Wild, and then 9.5% think that the Washington Capitals can get the win here today. Bedard McDavid? No, definitely not. Can I vote for Lane Lambert? He's clueless, lol. Or he's clueless too. No, because he's not in the poll. And Islanders are not off to a horrible start. Not what was expected of them. I think they're off to a fine start with what people expected. So I don't really think he's on the hot seat at all. But we will jump into today's slate and we'll start with the first game here. And obviously, we'll be talking about one of the teams that was in that poll, and the Calgary Flames and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Calgary plus 125 to plus 133. Toronto minus 120, minus 120 to minus 155. I'm assuming that minus 120 is wrong. Bet stamp is occasionally wrong. Occasionally. Sometimes the odds don't quite update quickly enough. So I'm assuming that you can't get minus 120 for the Leafs at Bet Victor, but we'll go with minus 150. 6.5 and 7s when you look at this game. Calgary has won back-to-back games after their 6-game losing streak. They've gone over 6.5 in 3 of their last 4. Toronto 1, 3, and 2 in their last 6 games, so 1 win in their last 6 games. That's why we're hearing a lot of fire Sheldon Keefe right now from Leafs fans. The last 3 games for the Leafs have gone over 6.5 because they have not been able to defend or stop a puck in their last few games. Toronto 6-1-1 in the last 8 meetings between Calgary and Toronto. 3 of the last 5 have gone to overtime, and 3 of the last 6 have gone over 6.5. So not really too much edge on the total there. And I don't lean Calgary Flames money line anymore. I had the Calgary Flames money line here as a lean because goalies were not announced yet. And I was hoping that we were going to get Dustin Wolf, who got called up from the AHL. I was hoping that he was going to start today. And if that was the case, I was going to be on Calgary money line. But goalies are now confirmed. Daniel Vladar for Calgary, 2-1 with a full 4.0 goals against average, 844 save percentage against Joseph Wall, 4-4, 2.79 goals against average, and 914 save percentage. But he's trending downwards the last few starts. So I don't lean Calgary anymore. I wanted Dustin Wolf. I don't want Vladar. This game is a pass. It's now officially a pass for me. Dun, 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 dun. Panthers and maybe Caps for dog. Interesting. Leafs, lean Leafs -1 and under. No bet though. Yeah, I agree. Leafs money line. They beat Tampa coming back from 4-1. They should win this one. They should. Calgary Toronto pass. I agree. Over 6.5. The Leafs goal song is not it. Yeah, I know they think they've been switching between different goal songs because they just haven't found one yet. So we'll see if they can ever find one. Over 6.5. All right, Captain Brian Ritchie, both like the over. I could see that with the way Toronto's playing right now and the goaltending from the Flames lately. I could see that. Move on to our next game. Between the Minnesota Wild and the Buffalo Sabres. Wild +107 to -105. Buffalo -115 to -118. 6.5s right across the board here in this one. And as I said earlier and breaking down yesterday's game between the Wild did not play a 60-minute game. And looking at this game here, Buffalo 4-2-1 in their last 7, so playing better hockey overall. 4 of their last 7 have gone over 6.5. Minnesota used to dominate Buffalo. This was a series that the Wild looked like, kind of like when they faced Montreal. It's just a series that just Minnesota won. They always won. But over the last couple seasons now, Buffalo 5-1-1 in the last 6 meetings between the teams. We have seen a lot of draws. 4 of the last 6 meetings have gone to overtime. 3 of the last 6 have gone under. 3 of the last 6 have gone over. So no real edge there on the total. And I'm passing. I'm going to watch this game as a fan tonight. I can see why people will take either side. When it comes to Buffalo, Philip Gustafson will be in net. He's really struggled all year long for Minnesota. Buffalo is rested and ready for this game. Minnesota's off the back-to-back last night. My only feeling is that Minnesota obviously lost last night and did not play a full 60-minute game. If Minnesota comes tonight and plays a full 60-minute game, then they win this game. They do. They win this game. But will they play a full 60-minute game? That is the question. And we have only seen it once against the Islanders. Even in that game against the Rangers at the very beginning, the Wild were not in it right at the beginning. But they did dominate after that. But Wild need to play a full 60-minute game. I'm not sure we're going to see it tonight, so I would lean with Buffalo. Buffalo's had the advantage over the Wild in recent years. When it comes to the total, maybe this is wishful thinking, but my gut's telling me that Gustafson is going to play better than he has. But it's kind of hard to play worse than he has so far this year. So keep that in mind. I'm passing in this game. Lean Buffalo Sabres, as much as I hate to say it. Tim thinks Sabres puck line +205. I would disagree with that, as we've seen a lot of draws between these two teams. I don't think that the Wild get blown out, especially after last night's loss. I do think they come in motivated here in this one. Sabres money line at over 6.5. Gustafson is second to last in NHL for goals saved above expected. Bad spot for many here. Yeah, I don't feel like Gustafson is going to be second to last in GSAA when the season's over. I just feel like this is kind of with Fleury last year. Everybody was saying after the first 10 games or whatever, everyone was saying Flower's washed, Flower is washed, Flower is washed, and he ended up finishing with like a 2.3 or 4. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but finished with really good numbers at the end of the year. So I'm not ready to say that Gustafson was a 1 year wonder yet. But this isn't a good spot for Minnesota. To be fair, everyone dominated Buffalo. I can agree with that. Another over 6.5. Yeah, based on what we've seen so far, Minnesota. Obviously, Philip Gustafson is confirmed for Minnesota. When it comes to Buffalo, it does sound like it's going to be Devin Levi, who is likely. He is 2-3 with a 3.4 goals against average and an 884 save percentage. So his save percentage is pretty similar to Gustafson's, uh, which is not good, obviously. So I could see the over. Wild money line over 6.5 might be an 8-7 game. This could be crazy. Everyone lay off Kaprizov. He's nasty. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. 6-4 Sabres. Maybe an empty netter. Yeah, maybe. People blaming the A having too much responsibility for Kaprizov is so dumb. Yeah, it's not the A. It's not the A. He's been a slow starter in his career so far. Gus Bus. Hopefully. Buffalo money line at over 6.5 is plus 239. I can see it. Lots of goals. Probably. I hope so because I'll be watching this game without any bets involved. So I'm hoping for a exciting game. Eck was buzzing yesterday. He will score. Yeah, that line Eck, Maroon, and Foligno is just an excellent line. I love it. The Wild Legs will be tired for the back-to-back game. Lean over 6.5. Very possible. Very possible. Flower is still washed? No. And absolutely not. Absolutely not. If anyone who doesn't watch baseball, he's talking about a pitcher. Uh, horrible comparison. Horrible comparison. Horrible. Marc-Andre Fleury is about to pass in the next whenever. Sometime this season is going to be the uh, second most winningest goaltender of all time. So, yeah, he's not grinky. Catch the Bruins minus 2.5 play that Nick gave out in the chat yesterday. I think he was probably, yeah, I don't think he didn't bet Bruins minus 2.5. I know that. Throw the defense out. Yes. Totally. We're definitely not talking about Sunday's Wild game when Minnesota heads home to face Dallas. Yeah, well, I don't do shows on Sunday, so we won't get to talk about that game. But yeah, I told you Isles win as faves, lose as dogs. Isles lose. And hey, the Isles didn't win as a favorite their last game, Nicholas, when they faced Minnesota. You should remember that. But we'll go to the next game here, which is between the Washington Capitals and the New Jersey Devils. Washington plus 154 to plus 173. New Jersey minus 175 to minus 200. 6.5s right across the board here. This game, Charlie Lindgren likely for Washington. Vitek Vanacek likely for New Jersey. Lindgren 1-1 with a 2.5 goals against average, 929 save percentage. Vanacek 6-3 with a 3.28 goals against average, 893 save percentage so far on the year. Lindgren coming off an impressive game, 34 of 35 shots he stopped, beating the Columbus Blue Jackets. And of course, the New Jersey offense and Columbus offense are two completely different things. Looking at this game, Washington 4-1-1 in their last 6. So playing pretty good hockey overall. 4 of their last 5 have gone under 5.5. So Washington has been playing low scoring hockey. New Jersey 4-2 in their last 6. 10 of their 12 games this season have gone over 6.5. So New Jersey an over team, Washington an under team, battling it out here in this one. Washington 3-1-2 in the last 6 meetings. 5 of the last 7 have gone over 6.5. So usually we do see goals when it comes to these two teams. And I hate to do this because I've already done it on the first 2 games, but I promise you in the last 3, I do have a pick in all of the final 3 games here. But in this one, Devils Washington, I have to pass. I'm not laying, obviously, Devils minus 175, so I'd have to look at in regulation, um, or maybe team total over. But Washington an under team right now. This game is just, I just don't have a good feeling. Can't lay this price with the Devils right now. But Washington is a team I just one of those teams that I just don't have a good feeling for. I don't know what they are yet. They looked so horrible to start the season, but now they're starting to play better. And in a lower scoring game, I think Washington does win. So if you like the over, I'd look at New Jersey. If you like the under, I'd look at Washington here in this one. Da, da, da. Yeah, laughing face with a tear. They were a PK, yes, but they weren't originally when you were posting on Twitter about the Isles record as a favorite and as a dog. They were the favorite then, but of course it switched. So interesting. Even Washington, New Jersey over 6. Caps are live here. Interesting. I thought it would be the other way around, under and Caps. Pass at the moment. Agree. Devils puck line plus 140. All right, all right. Devils money line, they're better than Florida, and they just beat the Caps. Yeah, they did just. It could be a revenge spot for the Devils, or could be a revenge spot for the Caps. Oh God, it's Levi for the Sabres. Barf. Exactly, exactly. Capitals money line. Devils minus 70 without Hughes. No, thank you. I kind of agree. Kind of agree. First game was crazy. Pass. Strome anytime goal. I have heard people talking about Strom lately. I will be honest, I didn't really look at props in this game, um, just because I just don't have a good feeling for this game. And Washington is just not a team I'm comfortable taking props with right now. But I have heard a lot of people talking about Strom, so maybe he's playing well. You could look that way. Going to the next game here between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers. Carolina minus 125 to minus 130. Florida plus 105 to plus 116. 6.5s right across the board here. This one, and this is the battle of two hot teams in this game. This could potentially be maybe the game of the night, potentially. Carolina 5-1 in their last six. 6 of their last 7 have gone under 5.5. So we're seeing Carolina Hurricanes hockey. They are winning games and they're playing low scoring games recently. Florida 5-1 in their last 7. Their last 3 games all going over 6.5. Bennett should be returning to the lineup shortly. Montour is right around the corner as well. And then Ekblad isn't too far away either. So Florida is getting healthy. And they've done pretty well in the absence without their top 2 defensemen. Um, so we have the battle of 2 hot teams right now. But when you look at the history between these 2 teams, Florida 9-2 in the last 11 meetings. So Florida has had a lot of success against this Carolina Hurricanes team, especially in the playoffs recently. 6 of the last 8 games have gone under 5.5. So we usually do see a lower scoring game between these 2 teams. And seeing the 6.5, I would definitely lean with the under between these 2 teams. But give me the Florida Panthers plus 118 here at home. Uh, yes, I'm not overly excited about fading the Hurricanes right now. But looking at this matchup, both of these teams are playing really, really well right now. And then Florida has the edge, obviously being at home, and they've pretty much dominated Carolina over recent years. I think this is a good spot for Florida. Pretty good price for them at home. So give me the Panthers money line here in this game. Devils beat my Blackhawks without Hughes. Lean over. I could see that. See that. Caps are old news. Haven't been the same since 2018. Yeah, when it comes to being a Stanley Cup contender, yeah, I think their time is definitely past. Canes minus 1.5. Canes minus 1.5. All right. Canes can score now. I want to see it tonight. 4-3 Canes. Potentially, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think Florida's a live dog. I really like what I've seen from them. and then they've played very well against this Hurricanes team, which is pretty much the same it's been over the last few years. Looking at our next game here, which is between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Anaheim Ducks. Philadelphia -120 to -125. Anaheim +100 to +116. Sixes right across the board here in this game. Of course, I forgot to mention goalies. Last game, it is Ranta likely for Carolina and Bobrovsky for Florida, and slight edge with Bobrovsky here when it comes to overall numbers. Looking at this game here, it will be Carter Hart confirmed for Philadelphia, coming back off injury. 4-3 on the year with a 2.52 goals against average, 913 save percentage. Nobody's confirmed for Anaheim. I am hoping that it will be Lucas Dostal, who is 5-1 on the year, 2.79 goals against average, 920 save percentage. That's what I'm hoping for because I'm taking the Anaheim Ducks. Plus 103 here. Now you can get plus 116 Pinnacle. So the line has continued to move. Philly 2-6-1 in their last 9, trending towards the under. Anaheim 6-1 in their last 7, trending towards the over. Ducks 3-2 in the last 5 meetings. 3 of the last 4 have gone over 6.5. And I think this game is priced wrong. I think people are overreacting to the fact that Carter Hart's returning. I think people just overall are just too high on this Flyers team. Bookmakers are thinking that Anaheim's not for real, and it's very possible. It's very possible that Anaheim goes back to being the team we expect them to be. But Philadelphia has already gone back to the team I expect them to be. And don't hate me, Flyers fans, because I know there's some Flyers fans that do watch the show. Flyers have a bright future. And yes, I've been shitting on them this year, but that's because I think they're overplaying to their ability. But they do have a bright future. It's just not quite yet. When it comes to this game, battle of these two teams, rebuilding teams, the Ducks are playing well. Coming off that one loss, but they've had a few days now to kind of reset. And I like the Ducks here at home. Going to the chat, it's Freaky Friday. Yes, it is. It is. And that's why I'm not scared to take some dogs. Panthers money line. I agree. Flyers Ducks draw. Interesting. Is Florida missing some defensemen? Yeah, they've been without Montour and Ekblad all year long. But they're both on their way back. Flyers -1.5. I completely disagree. I pretty much disagree with Tim on everything today, so it is what it is. Quack all day. When the Ducks are on, I watch them. Yeah, this is an exciting young team. Ducks have been a surprise team and have been cashing as underdogs. I completely agree, Kev. I like them tonight here in this one. McTavish, his point streak came to an end. I'm not on any props here just because I do feel like this is going to be a lower scoring game. But we'll have to see. In this one. Going to our final game of the night. And yes, I did say I have a pick in every game. So our final game here, San Jose Sharks and the Vegas Golden Knights. San Jose +400 to +426. Vegas Golden Knights -500 to -550. 6.5s right across the board. If you're looking at Vegas puck line, you're paying -185. If you want Vegas -2.5, you're looking at -115. You can get Sharks +2.5, -105 in this game. Sharks coming off a second win, obviously last night against the Oilers. Now they have to head here to Vegas to face a team that has absolutely dominated them. Vegas 28-8-5 since entering the league against San Jose, 14-1-2 in the last 17 meetings. The Sharks team, yes, they won back-to-back games, but this is a spot where I think Vegas murders the Sharks. I think Vegas goes shark hunting tonight. I think this is a bloodbath. And I think the Vegas is the right side. Of course, if you look at the price, it's extremely hard to bet them in this game. Um, Three of the last six meetings have gone over 6.5 between these two teams. When it comes to the total, I really don't have too much of an edge. Let me bring up the final poll. When it comes to polls that are um, involving a specific game, I'll bring them up when I talk about that game. And I did ask a question. I've been asking polls about the San Jose Sharks lately, so I figured let's keep it going. What is the best way to bet this game with how everything is priced here? 48.4% say take Vegas by 3. 3.2% say take the Sharks plus 2.5. 25.8% say take over 6.5. 22.6% say take under 6.5. Yesterday's poll, people said the Sharks were live, and the poll was right. The poll was right. The Sharks were live, and I think the poll is right again. I think Vegas wins this by margin. Looking at my play for this game, Alex Pietrangelo, over half a point, minus 120. Most of the Vegas Golden Knights players are extremely overpriced when it comes to props. Carlson, who's been like minus 115, minus 120, I think he's minus 180 to get a point in this game. So it's like, whoa. But Pietrangelo, minus 120 to get a point tonight. He has one in 4 of his last 5 games, playing over 20 minutes a game. If this is a bloodbath, as I expect it to be, Pietrangelo should get a point at some point. So minus 120, Pietrangelo to get a point. That is the way I'm tackling this game because it's an extremely hard game to tackle, in my opinion. Terry has Sharks money line, I bet. No, I have not bet the Sharks, even though I've been saying the last 2 games, not so much yesterday. I won't try to say that but I was saying don't take the Oilers yesterday, and I said to take the Sharks against the Flyers. Here I'm saying no. I think the Sharks run ends here. I passed on this one. Yeah, I could see it's a tough game to bet. Vegas wins 12-0. Would not shock me one bit. Would not shock me one bit. Fade the poll. Wow, I said is that going to be your new strategy? Are you going to fade the polls in the show? Well, there you go. There you go. You would have lost yesterday. I passed on this play. Sharks money line. Tim, I don't see it. Yes, the Sharks have beat the Flyers. I've already talked about my feelings about the Flyers. Yes, they beat Edmonton. We all can see what Edmonton's been like this year. But now you're telling me they're going to go and win a 3rd game in a row against the defending champs who have absolutely dominated the Sharks year after year after year. No, I don't see it here. I'd go 3 points. Yeah, you could look at him over 1.5 points. And Captain Bry is going to take Sharks money line for value purposes. And I can see that at this great plus price. I could see if someone wanting to do that. I can't. I can't. I can't. Fade the poll. Yeah, we'll see. Just take the whole lineup anytime goal. Yeah, hey, if there's going to be 12 goals, then you're probably going to cash. If Robert's right and it finishes 12-0, obviously for Vegas, then yeah, you would probably cash some nice player props there. But that is today's show. Thank you everyone for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Not sure about tomorrow's show yet. What's going to happen with it? Most likely, I will be doing one tomorrow, and it'll probably be at 12:30 tomorrow, so at normal time. I'm going to try to see if I can get a guest on with me. If there is no show tomorrow, then I will see you guys next Thursday. I know, a big break. The show will be back. Don't worry. If I am healed up quicker than expected, I'll do a show Wednesday. We'll just see. We'll play it by ear, but the show will return. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm going to start checking out your props. Yesterday, I cashed in 2 of 3. Yeah, I have a very, when it comes to props, I want to bet guys that are doing really well. Obviously, there'll be occasional Shane Wright prop where it's a situational spot, but most of the time for my props, I want guys who are doing it game after game after game, and that's how I go. Parlay Wild Canes, Ducks in Vegas. switch Canes and put Florida in? Maybe. Okay. Good luck, everyone. Thanks, Terry. Get well, bro. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, we'll see everyone again for future shows. Best of luck, everybody. Feel free to message me on Twitter while the show is not on the next few days. If you've got any questions about any games or anything, feel free to send me a message. Best of luck, guys. Let's all make some money on this Friday night and go wild, go. Sorry, Tim.